Good day, podcast community. Pete Kane here, Podcast Pete, and certified lifestyle coach and podcaster. Freedom. The destination is a meaningful pursuit. The pursuit of freedom. We talk about the pillars of business freedom. If you're not generating demand, which is leads, you won't create cash flow, and you won't have a thriving business or community. So the number one goal, create demand. Gotta have demand to give you the freedom of what's possible. We talk about the 6 freedoms centered around your personal growth development. The freedoms of time, of wealth, of health, of location, travel, and creative freedom. Those are the freedoms we help our community with. Join our community right up here. It's our free freedom community. Then when you're ready to invest in yourself, you can join the Freedom Builder community, where we go on 30-day sprints to get you momentum, to get you flow. Work on your systems, your processes to achieve the freedom that's possible. Okay, now let me share something with you. Hold on here. Hold on, let me remove this. Put this up. Hold on here. Yes. Okay. All right. The architecture of a breakthrough. Reversing the downward pull to generate momentum. We're always fighting adversity and gravity. If we can't lift ourselves up by our actions, by the things we're going to do, we'll drift into distraction. Adversity will take us out, will get us off track. And if they get us off track, we can't lift and get that momentum that's possible, because it is possible. All right. Gravity is constant. Lift must be cultivated. This is from my mentor, Brendon Burchard, who certified me, who is part of creating Growth Day, a personal development community, the largest in the world. He coaches me every single day, a related coach on that topic. A 5 to thrive, meaning I answer a thought-provoking question. I fill out what is my priorities, big rocks for the day. It asks me to score myself so I can score, because if you don't measure, you can't improve. So you have to score yourself. And then what am I grateful for? Those are my 5 that give me the rocket to start the day. So let's go back. Gravity is constant. Lift must be cultivated. Adversity is not a flaw. It is a constant. Whether it's business, illness, culture, chaos, life naturally grinds you down. The critical question, not how do I avoid the struggle, but what counter force do I have to pull me up? Honor the struggle. We learn from the struggle, but it can't stop us. Keep moving. The twin trap, mental and emotional exhaustion. That's your fatigue. When you don't have clarity and you don't know where you're going and you don't have that meaningful purpose, it's easy to get fatigued. It's easy to get distracted, emotionally drained. Aimlessness, the question is, why try? When that happens, fear is not the enemy, indifference is. So you have to recognize those. Shift from consuming to generating. We talk about, are you consuming other people's lives? I think I'm going to sneeze. Are you consuming other people's lives? Are you creating your life? When you look at scrolling, reacting, waiting, consuming 4 hours of TV a day, you're consuming other people's lives. And when you do that, you can't create your life. So when you look at the joy, the movement, the future, you look at creating your life. This is creating. I'm not scrolling social media. I'm creating the content to let people know, because if you can't allow people to get to know, like, and trust you by the content you put out there, how are they going to do business with you? So we're always creating demand, putting stuff. If you search my name, put podcast in it, put Podcast Pete, put Pete Kane Podcast, 5 pages of Google, not one, not a couple items, couple line items on the first page, 5, because we've been creating an example of demand. We've done 300 more podcasts with hosts and over 1,000 videos. Is that over the top? Yes. I love doing it because I learn every single podcast I do, because I get the chance to have a meaningful conversation. I get to share a story with our community. I get to know how I can serve that person by connecting them to people in our school community. That way, their business starts to grow. Their demand starts to grow because I'm going to connect you with people, because I get a chance to get to know you on the podcast. I create an asset. I get a chance to learn. All these things wrapped up in a 30-minute podcast. And if you want to be a guest on my podcast, just go to petekane.me. Love to have you on. Love to introduce you and your story to our community. Always be around good people. You can be around people that are freedom fighters. They want freedom for themselves. They want one of those 6 freedoms or all of them. Because once you master time, it opens up health freedom. It opens up wealth freedom, travel, location, and creative freedom. Stay in your genius zone. When you do that, you have a brighter future. The trap, losing control by consuming everything thrown at you. You've heard, you have to be under a rock to know how information is being generated. AI is creating massive amount of information. If you don't know how to apply that information to help you get better, you will get bitter and your brain will rot. Because if you're not thinking critically and you're not around good people that will challenge you and you're not learning and growing, it's easy to get caught up in that trap of consumption. Watching TikTok videos, watching TV 4 hours a day, 2.5 hours of scrolling. That's the trap that's out there. Master skill number 1, self-control is personal power. If you work on yourself, your business will grow. It will not grow beyond your growth. So the myths, restriction, perfection, no fun. Reality is initiative, agency, the willingness to try. The willingness to try. Without command over your attention, you drift into self-obsession of other people's lives. Create your life. Master skill, the social influence, so critical. It's collaboration. Collaborate with people. The myth, you see the influence around likes, followers, superficial popularity. The reality, influence is authentic connection. We cannot build a skyscraper or meaningful lives alone. Selfie culture leads to isolation and lower standards. Together, we're better. Build a foundation, then you got to build the skyscraper. And that's you growing, you collaborating, you doing the things that not vanity metrics, like how many likes do I have? How many people are following me? It doesn't matter. If you have 100,000 followers and nobody is doing business with you versus 10 followers and 5 people do business with you, which one would you want? The question is obvious. The fuel. The mood is a lag measure of the last 72 hours. Brendon shared this. What we put in our body doesn't happen right away. So if you don't get sleep, you're not focusing on your diet, your movement, the sunlight, your social connections. It's a lag effect 72 hours later. So you wonder why you're dragging, you're sleepy, you didn't exercise, you put the wrong things in your body, you didn't get the proper sleep, and it starts to magnify 72 hours later. Social connection is important to the fuel to you. When you separate yourself with text and an email and you don't have meaningful conversations, meaningful relationships. Tony Robbins once said, the quality of your life is the quality of your relationships. Do you want to build a business and forget about relationships? You can. You can have all the money in the world. But if you have nobody to enjoy it with and you neglected your relationships, you'll find yourself that ladder is going to be on the wrong side of the wall. And you have to have that attention to connection, to meaningful relationships, to being present, learning, listening to people, and serving like we do on Thursday morning at our North Cobb Rotary around wonderful people that are making an impact in the community. And you can surround yourself with those type of people. That's why we want you to join the school community, so you can be around people that are working on their freedom, working on themselves. Consistency turns sparks into fire. I do the same thing every day. I drink, I hydrate after the night because your body dehydrates. I think, I read, I journal, I plan, I implement. I do the same routine, so I get consistency. When I go to the gym, and I do 6 days a week, and I'm in PTOT 1 day a week, I meditate, I close my eyes on the bike, I'm listening to what I want to get better with, not just anything. I'm focusing, so I'm zeroing in on my clarity and my focus, so I can go anytime during the day because I know the benefits of that. I don't have to how I feel at that moment. I know what that consistency brings: more energy, more clarity, more physical movement, more focus. And when I have that, and I can close my eyes and think and concentrate on that information, I love to go. It's kind of unusual, but that's what got me to be consistent. Motivation is not a spark. Habit is the fire. You cannot improve what you do not measure. I grade myself every day. I put a plan together. Brendon Burchard's planner right here. I have a journal, smaller one, which I write in. So I get my thoughts out, and I'm able to get between 12 and 60,000 thoughts go through our head. How do you keep them straight? How do you keep from being distracted? How do you stay focused? How do you have the clarity in your life if you don't have a system and a process of being consistent with your daily, weekly, monthly, yearly plan? The mechanics: score your habits, journal the journal, journal the journey, use tools to structure your development. And I do every day. The destination is meaningful pursuit, high self-control with high social influence equals momentum and meaning. Momentum and flow, and doing it that fulfills you because you're serving, you're growing, you have a brighter future for yourself and your family and your friends and people, because you're constantly working on yourself. Instead of repelling people, like, if you do not work on this, you're going to stink. You're going to say things. You're going to think things. People aren't going to be one. Look at what's going on in America. People are yelling and screaming, really, the world and each other. Personal development, personal growth, meaningful purpose is needed. And you work on yourself. Let everybody work on themselves. You work on yourself, your business will grow. You don't take a shower of personal growth, you're going to stink. You're going to stink in your thoughts, in how you communicate. People don't want to be around you if you're always complaining and arguing and reacting to people. People will stay away from you like the plague. Self-control, influence, and meaning will pull you up. Gravity will pull you down of fatigue and indifference. Take back control of your attention. Connect authentically with others. Start your streak today. So let me put this up on. Go to pkane.me/school, where you can join our free freedom community. Then when you want to invest in yourself and you want to be a freedom builder and you want to be around people that are doing the same thing when it comes to their 6 freedoms. Ooh, I don't. Okay, I know this is one here. It's covering up a little bit. But anyway, here we go. This one. Oops, let me take this one off. Yeah, join our freedom community at pkane.me/school. Now, you're not sure of your future? You don't have a clear plan? You want to get some clarity in your life? Book a clarity session. Go to pkane.me/clarity. I'll change the QR code now, and that will allow you to scan the QR code right above me. Scan that QR code. Schedule a clarity session. I'll help you get unstuck and give you some options to have a brighter future, to have that consistency that gives you the transformation that's possible. The future is bright to those who have a clear vision of where they want to go. They're surrounding themselves with people on a similar journey, and they're hiring a coach and a mentor to help them get there faster. The world's changing, and if we don't change, we're going to get left behind because we're not wanting a brighter future for ourselves. We're consuming other people's lives. Create your life. I'm Pete Kane. Be bold.